Hey guys, Ham here. Just doing a little Stormcast video. Just gonna run you through how I painted this whole dude. Alright, should be starting soon. Alright, so as you see, I got it. It was already based in gold. Don't know what gold, so I'm just adding in some bright brass and some black, and just gonna make like a dark tone to start with. Just mixing it straight into the pot. You can add a bit of flow improver, a bit of water, a bit more bright brass just to get the right consistency for this dude. And here we go, just laying it down with the airbrush. Now this will be a test mini for a commission that I'm doing, so yeah, there'll be a little bit of back and forth, but shouldn't be too long of a video. So yep, there we go, just a quick coverage just to get it sort of get my shadows done. And then I'm going to move up to straight bright brass. Obviously Vallejo paints that I'm using. So there we go, just quickly nail it down. Oh, bright bronze, sorry, not bright brass. So yep, here we go. My next colour will be Glorious Gold, from Vallejo as well, from the Air colour range. There we go. Just working from the top down to try and keep all those previous layers that I did. Give it some nice contrast. Alright, now I'm going to work on a bit of a dry brush. I'm going to be taking some of the Glorious Gold out of the pot and mixing it with steel, another air colour, and just brushing downwards on the model just to sort of pick up those edges, make it pop a little bit more. As you can see, the first time around I wasn't real happy with how it turned out, so I went way more steel. On the thing, and just working in a downward motion, trying to hit all those edges. Alright, now I'm going to move on to the blue here. I'm using Steel Blue from Vallejo again. This is a really nice colour that I found, really good for working on your blues. Just a good place to start, even purples too. I used it in my last video with my Slanesh Seekers, so yeah. Just hitting all the details, you know, getting all the bits, and obviously this is my test model, so I'm just sort of looking around the model, seeing what needs to be blue, and just laying down the colour. Yeah, so guys, if you haven't seen my Twitch channel, you can always jump on there and see me do this stuff live. Yeah, good place to come hang out, ask me any questions that you got, that sort of thing. Yeah, like any projects you're working on, you're not sure how to do it, just, welcome to come onto my Twitch and ask me any questions that you feel like asking. Yep, so as again, you can see me just looking around the model, and just change the brush to do the cloak. Just obviously because it's a big flat surface, I want it to be nice and smooth, so I changed to a bigger brush. And I want it to be quicker too, so yeah. Alright, now I think I'm going to move on to the silver. Yep, so not sure what's going to be silver on this model, but just that bit of chainmail, bit around the sword, and I think really that's the only silver that I have on this model, so yeah. Alrighty, now I've just moved on to Bonejack from P3, and this is just to do all the sort of scroll work on the model. It's just a good place to start when doing any sort of bone or like sort of scrollish stuff, your Space Marine things on Space Marines, I don't even know what they're called. But yeah, just a good place to start with any sort of off-white colour. Bonejack from P3. So yeah, there's not too much on this model. Yeah, so now, as you can see, I'm going back to the blue, and I went back to the silver there, just because I missed a few little bits and pieces. Here I'm going to Magic Blue from Vallejo, and I've mixed it a little bit in with that steel blue, just a little bit, just to sort of marry the colours a bit. And as you can see, it's pretty thin, and I'm trying to leave some of that steel blue in the recesses, not too much. And then just going around the model and just covering it down. This will be like my base colour for the blue, and then we'll be working up the highlights from here as well. So yeah, it's a good little colour combination. I'll pull up all the colours in a second and show you sort of the three colours that I'm going to be using on the blue. Yeah, so we're going to move to electric blue now. And as you can see, yeah, there's all the colours, the steel blue, the magic blue, and the electric blue. And then we're going to do like a bit of a dry brush with the electric blue. Just sort of hitting all those edges, trying to make that blue pop as much as possible on the cloak, on all the blue. As you can see with the cloak, it looks a bit, looks a bit dirty at the moment, but we're going to fix that up with a glazed leather on. Because we want that cloak to sort of look a little bit different to the armour. Yeah, just look a little bit different to the armour that we're doing. So, because obviously the cloth would look different to the armour. So, because they're different materials. So as you can see here, I'm going to drop on some magic blue and a bit of that steel blue, mix it together, a bunch of flow improver, and I just mix that around together, creating sort of a glaze, and then I'm just going to glaze that whole cloak. Alright, and if you notice, I missed the inside of the cloak there, so I'm going to go back to my electric blue, dry brush it again on there, and then while that glaze is still wet, just go in and just glaze it up. So nice and quick there, not mucking around here, nothing too fancy. Alright, I've just pulled out my off-white because I'm going to redo the all those, oh geez, I forgot what I called them before, those off-white bits, the scrolls, and we're just going to try and highlight that up. So there we are. Okay, now I've just dipped my off-white into the blue there, my blue glaze, and I'm just going to do a bit of edging, you know, just using the side of the brush and just going over just any edges that I think that the light would hit, just to sort of make it pop just a little bit more. Video's pretty fast because I'm trying to make it pretty quick so you don't have to sit through all the bullshit, but yeah. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the eyeballs. I'm going to paint the eyeballs white first before I put the red into them. So just 2 dots of white, both in the eyes. And then I'm going to move on to the gold, just like fix up all the gold bits that I've sort of gone over with the blue, any mistakes I've done while I'm waiting for that white to dry in the eye sockets. I'm just going to hit the back of the cloak here, there's a little emblem here, so I'm just going to go over that. Yep, there we go. And then I'm gonna move back to the white and realise that these lightning bolts are white on the reference photo that I have from the client. So just gonna fix them up. Jumping into the red now. Just 2 dots, 1 dot there, 1 dot there. Going back to the gold because I realised I missed some of the gold on the I don't know, flaps at the front there. Sweet. Looking pretty good here. I think we're getting ready for the wash now. Yeah, so at the moment I think I'm just using the hairdryer just to make sure she is completely dry. Now I use some multi-black from Mr. Hobbies. It's an oil wash. So at the moment here I'm just covering it in a bit of the it's just a bit of the thinners that come with it, and then I slam on the multi-black oil wash, just covering the whole model really roughly. And then what I'm doing here is I'm using a clean brush just to move away the excess or move the wash around where I want it to be, just so you know nothing's pooling in one area, making sure it's not too dark, that sort of thing, because it can become quite dark, but with with an oil wash, it just works out so well and makes your job so much easier, guys. So that's Mr. Hobby's multi-black. I suggest you get some of that and some of the thinners that can't go along with that. Yeah, really helpful stuff. Okay, moving on to the sword here. We're doing a bit of airbrush, a bit of a power sword effect. I've just started with my magic blue, again, on the sword there. And then I'm going to move up to a teal colour. I think it's just teal from Vallejo. Just dump it straight in the pot, marry the two colours together. Alright, and then I work it up from there. As you can see, I'm just going back and forth really lightly, letting it dry, reinforcing the colour. So it's probably like 3 or 4 coats on either side just to sort of get the colour nice and bright. Just added in some white into my airbrush, and I'm just aiming at the tip now of that sword. And yeah, as I said, like, go around it like 4 times. Just keep on hitting it with white because the colour's so thin it's like a glaze. I've just emptied out my pot now, and I've just chucked in straight white, and I just hit the tips, just hitting the tip. Alright, now what I did was I just dipped my paintbrush into the airbrush pot to get that last colour out that I used to highlight the tip, and I'm just giving it a quick edge highlight. Nothing crazy, just using the edge of the brush to follow those things. I didn't even do underneath the sword because I did the edges underneath but not the middle part, just because no one will see that. As you can see, I'm just re-highlighting that the scrolls again. Now we're going to jump straight into the base, and as you can see, I've just chucked it in the lid. I've used a bit of burnt umber and a little bit of flat brown, all from Vallejo, and I'm just covering the base. I did put a bit of thinners in there just so it just flowed really nicely into the base there, so I didn't have to really work it too hard. I'm using air dry just to dry it off real quick, and then yeah, what I do now is I use a bit of off-white and that same mix, and I'm just dry brushing the base. I'm going to move on to just a generic grey, doesn't have to be any grey, and I'm just going to do some dots on the rocks on the base, just to sort of break it up a bit, just to give it sort of a different effect, make it a little bit more interesting. Just using straight black to do the rim of the base, because you should always do your rims black, I reckon. It just looks so much better. I'm going to add in one tuff there, and I'm just going to add some green flock. I don't even know where the flock's from, I just found it in my box of goods. So a bit of PVA glue on the base, and just going to slam that static grass flock on there. So there we go, give it a blow as you're working with it, and yeah, there we go, finished Stormcast dude, just like that. Thanks for watching, guys. Got any questions, check out my Twitch, or see me, yeah, just see me around. Thanks, guys.